we've been hanging out in this conversation for a little bit now, trying to figure out what was
how to fix the things that already went wrong.
It's fine, which is why we called it What Could Go Wrong.
That's true.
So it's fine. I'm just going to say that all the way through it. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm in for that. I'm going to just saturate my mind with your words.
Only those words though, because I feel like you go too far and you can never return. So a few things. I don't really know how to work chat. I have a little thing over here, but then it says to activate chat, please enable channels here, and I click it and nothing happens. So I don't really know how to work that. So we're just gonna talk.
Well, mine does say messages from your audience will display here. So maybe between the two of us, we can have a full-on live session that works.
Wouldn't that be fun? I feel like that would be really exciting. And I'm
my audio issues, your chat issues, we'll just come together and be complete. It's fine.
That's okay. I asked, before we went live, I asked some of my friends who go live all the time. I was like, okay, guys, so what are the top things I need to know before I do this? Because they're pros at this, right? And here, let me tell you some of the things I got. Here we go. I got, remember to smile. Make sure you're not in your underwear. Hang on. Have a glass of water ready in case you're thirsty. That was a good one. Pee before you start. Okay.
That was a good one.
Don't stare at the camera constantly. All right. Give yourself 5 or 10 seconds after hitting the live button before talking. I don't know if I did that, so I might already be missing that one. Have a glass of whiskey. Didn't do that. So.
Oh man, that was my big mistake. I came straight in for meetings. I didn't even make time. But the really important thing is, why didn't we go over this list before the Zoom? That was way more important than getting connected.
Was it? I feel like maybe that's what we should have done, was just say, okay, here are the things. I was told to take 3 shots prior to beginning. So
that's what I love about you, Chelsea. You are honest, and that is beautiful. I love it.
So it's fine. So like when I'm looking on LinkedIn, I see that there are 8 people attending on LinkedIn, but I don't know. And I also see comments.
I was going to say, I see comments in the chat.
How to do that? Where do you see these comments?
They're just they're on the side for me.
Can you respond to them?
Yeah, there's a few. Someone says whiskey next to you, aka they agree. Underwear is funny. Yep. Nick says we are here.
Yes,
you are live. Yeah, you're trying.
Okay, so you're in charge of the comments because obviously
I will do my best.
I can't do that, so you're in charge of that. And Nick, if you're here,
Vipers in the house. That's what I just read.
Oh, good. All the Vipers are here, or some of the Vipers are here. So some of you are going to need to obviously give me a better rundown before the next time we do this. Because I'm obviously not doing
click on the chat header. Nick says, click on the chat header.
Click on the chat header. I did. And it says social comments display here. And then nothing happens. I got.
Don't you know that this is how really virtual world, this was a planned demonstration of we also struggle. Teachers, we feel your pain.
I like that. That is exactly what we're doing.
We plan to say you can watch us struggle.
All the feelings of educators all over the world.
Without whiskey. So you're going through your dream of struggle, so are we. With no whiskey. All right? You can do this.
Only because we were told too late. Michael said, I had no idea that LinkedIn had a live feature. So we are educating people right here, right now.
Another reason we're here.
We're here for some reason. Okay, so now that we know that there are people in places, but I don't really know where they are or how to really engage with them, we're just gonna go ahead and start.
Let's do it.
So this is our very first show, obviously, for What Could Go Wrong Live, and it's perfect because all these things could go wrong.
It did definitely go wrong. It went wrong for me at like 4:30. Like we started going wrong before we even got on. Okay, I'll be really real.
I mean, the good news is we do this again tomorrow, you and I. So maybe I can track Nick down and see if he'll show me what to actually click to see the comments between now and then. So it's fine.
Hey,
right,
you have to hear this before we roll on. A LinkedIn user says, the quote of the year for 2020 was, "You're on mute." In 2021, it will be, "I can't find the chat." And you know what? I feel that.
Yes, I feel that.
Yes.
I do. And you're killing it with keeping me updated on the chat. I wish that I could see them. That's the best part.
If you drink your shots. Roll with it. It's okay. So let's roll with it. Let's do just that.
Okay.
Let's roll
That's fine. It's fine. All right. So episode 1, we're doing so well so far. Julie, tell us about yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? Why did you agree to this shenanigan?
Well, one, because I like you and I think that you're incredible, and you are the reason that I agree to this shenanigan. If everybody could adapt the mantra of what could go wrong, I think the world would be a better place. I know that there's not a lot that has gone well in what our original plans for 2020 were, and I know 2021 is kind of on the same track, rolling that way. And so truly, the mantra of what could go wrong is beautiful. It encourages us to step out anyway. It encourages us to kind of shoot for the stars, which really is what I love about you. I love about this. But my name's Julie. I was a speech and debate coach at Central High School here in San Angelo, Texas. So I'm a Texas girl also, for 13 years. And I love coaching. I was always a high school teacher. I loved being an educator. I left the classroom at the end of last school year, which was kind of planned before COVID, and then COVID hit. And, you know, that was almost the worst part, was leaving, that be the end of my career, was COVID. Mm-hmm. But I had some opportunities to open the doors to speaking and consulting, and that's where my true passion is. I love getting to help districts with my big goal is to help people flip their focus to relationship building first. And I do goal setting with teams. I do goal settings with districts. We start with personal goal setting and where you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and how you can work with your team on that. But we also really focus on what I use as the lean in to help you be better at relationship building, because I believe in the power of a kid's always going to learn more from someone who knows that you care. And that's not the first time we've heard that in education. But there's just some other pieces of how I go about it that I think are helpful. If you're not good at relationship building, it could help you. If you are good, great. Put more tools in your toolkit. So I do speaking and consulting in that realm, but I'm also the director of external relations at our local university, Angelo State University. So that's about me in a nutshell.
And I learned how to say your last name. So
that's a win.
Exciting for me. Thank you. I don't know how to spell it. I feel like I've done it over and over again. In my head.
You've been married for 13 years, and I'm like, Schnier. That's still me.
Well, my dog is barking, so that's what's happening. I'm like, I'm gonna mute myself and then unmute myself and then kill my puppy. That's a lie. I love the dog, but it's fine. So you and I met through LinkedIn, as all of my favorite people I have met now through LinkedIn. That's like all the people whom I love and adore live there, and then everybody else doesn't really matter as much. Don't tell the people outside of LinkedIn that.
Matter.
But yeah, I mean, we met through here. How did we start talking?
You know what? I think that I found you. I stumbled upon some of your work and we started chatting. I think that's how. Yeah.
I stumbled upon your shenanigans.
All the great people on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. And so then we chatted.
Yes.
But I don't remember why. It was just like, hey.
We chatted so that I could pick your brain.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you used words like, I adore you, or I want to be like you when I grow up. And I was like, I don't even care what she wants. I'm going to meet her. I want to meet this person. I need to meet the fans. Like, so I don't even care. We're now best friends. Yes, I will take flattery all day long. It's totally fine. I approve of all of it. Just anybody else who's
I have a lot
listening,
of
you guys
that.
say that you're here. Whoever says that they're here, and if you're really here, I don't really know, but I'll take flattery as a form of love. So that's fine. So I met you, and then I was like, ooh, I like her. We use the same words and laugh at the same things. We both y'all, we both live in Texas, and she's fun. And so I had been putting off LinkedIn Live because, you know, for all of these reasons, obviously. And then I was like, you know, I feel like Julie and I could do this together because it could be a shenanigan, but we are in it together, you know, and that's important, I think, for whatever's happening here. So
you picked me.
That's good. We'll see Crystal Pod later. Well, and then you started talking about relationships and education, and I was like, okay, I'm in for that conversation. And we really meshed there because I have a whole soapbox about relationships and education and, you know, all the things that surround that. And so I want to pick your brain for just like 2 or 3 questions because we're just going to leave tonight pretty short and then do like a longer conversation tomorrow. But I actually had a conversation with someone yesterday on a podcast called, oh no, if you're watching this and I have just forgotten the name of your podcast on air.
Oh, you're I can't.
You get favorite podcast to date that I've done so far. And I think I've done 7, 9-ish, 10-ish. There's a number of them that I don't remember, but I really enjoyed it. And she works with in California for teachers that are like training new teachers. So teachers coming into the workforce. I'm echoing again. Do you hear that? No, it's just me. Great. Okay. So
I'm looking at the comments.
Oh, good. Anything good? Are they making fun of me?
Good.
I feel like if they're making fun of me, just ignore it. Or if it's funny, then share it because that's important. Okay, so I met with her. We were talking about all these types of things, and we went down the rabbit trail of whole child education, relationships and education. And then we stumbled upon teachers can't give what they don't have, right? So I am now asked if I worked with teachers specifically. And I don't necessarily work with teachers anymore. I work with school leadership or ed tech or school-related businesses because I believe what we were talking about is relationships are important. And if we want teachers to create this in the classroom, then this type of culture, this type of environment needs to be created for teachers within school leadership. They can't give away what they don't have. And so I wanted to pick your brain and kind of see what you've seen around that. Is this being created for teachers and what you've seen, or how is that happening, and what kind of you seen?
Well, you know what? I love that you asked that question because I literally just had this conversation with my husband yesterday. I have been in a lot of different schools this school year, and it is so interesting to walk in the doors and sit down with their leadership. And everyone's different. And I had just this week with an admin team that I thought, man, I just want to be around those guys. And the reality is, you attract the kind of people that you are. I said this as a coach as well. However you coach is how you're going to, or is the kind of kids that you're going to attract. And if you deal with negativity, you're going to attract people that are willing to give you negativity. If I'm going to spin this to a positive realm, then you're going to get kids that learn from you to spin things into a positive light. So just like we are displaying that in our classrooms, that leadership has to display that for us. When I sat down with this team, and they were complimenting, hey, this is what I love, and this is what I love. Like, my gosh, I feel like I won the lottery to get to be with you. He probably treats everyone like that. You know what I mean? Pulling out the best in everybody. If I walked in, one session with walked out thinking I would love to hang out with them, man, it must be awesome to work at his school. And that thought process resonated with me on exactly what you're saying is truth, right? And I've been in schools where I sat down with the school district and the superintendent didn't really look me in the eyes much. He seemed lost out, not in the conversation. He didn't seem to be tuned in into what we were talking about. And that lack of just communication and interpersonal skills made me feel like I was in the way. And of course, if that's a norm, right? So when I talk to schools, when we talk about our relationship building keys that I like to really work on, and I said it earlier to you, it's the lean in. It really talks about parts of it are, the L is for legacy link. How do you want to be remembered? Because I think if we all thought through the process of, you know what, they're not going to remember every lesson that I teach them. They're not going to remember all of the algebra equations. But they're going to remember how they felt in they're going to remember the kind of person that I tried to grow them in. And they're going to remember you. That's reality. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you're going to be remembered.
I have an algebra related question. You said they won't remember every algebra expression that you taught. I want to know what happens if you don't remember any algebra related.
Well, you know what? I'll give you a personal example. I took trig in high school and I don't remember any of it. And I struggled the whole time, but I remember that trig teacher. I remember how awesome she was, right? And we all do this. We all think through like, our classroom experience, like what teachers impacted you in a good, bad, or ugly way, right? I mean, like I'm 35 and I still can tell you teachers I hated and teachers that made a difference in my life. Right? Like,
I mean, I remember the teachers that rolled the TV cart into my classroom and I was like, yes, I can do whatever. They were my favorite teachers.
That's so funny. But my L is legacy link and I talk about that. I mean, whether it's like rolling the cart in the room or it's just impacting kids' lives in the way that you want to be remembered. And then E is eye contact, which really is a communication piece that I think in this day and age is easy for us to let go of. We multitask like crazy. We forget how important it is to look people in the eye and make them feel like they matter. And then A is ask and answer questions, like make people feel like you care. And then N is for notes and quotes. So we talk through those relationship building pieces, but 2 of those 4 are linked to communication pieces. How do you communicate with your people? And if you're not looking them in the eye and you're not giving them positive, you're not going to get eye contact and you're not going to get positive, right? Full circle.
I mean, yeah, you model the behavior that you want to receive. And that's a struggle especially if the teacher's not modeling that type of behavior. And so if you take that a bit deeper, so let's take all of that and apply it to growth mindset, right? So this, what could go wrong theory. Yeah. And that's kind of the epitome of growth mindset. It could go wrong, right? It's going to be fine. Learn, we're going to change, we're going to do that. If the teacher doesn't have that to give away, then how are they supposed to create that in the classroom? I mean, growth mindset has now become this buzzword that people are just throwing around without really understanding the implications of it. Because if you say what could go wrong, you have to really actually be okay with what could go wrong.
You've got to be okay with trying and failing. Was it John Quincy Adams, right? It's better to try and fail than not try at all. And that is a quote I hung on my wall my last year of teaching. And I am still trying to live by that because I'm such a perfectionist. I call myself a recovering perfectionist because I feel like I should go to like meetings about it because it's a challenge every single day for me to let go. And you saw that when I was struggling with my sound.
I like hang out with like an AA meeting for struggling perfectionists, right?
As long as I can drink my whiskey and talk about my perfectionism.
My earbuds aren't working, and I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah, you are. Like, it's fine. We're calling it what could go wrong. And I'm like, but it's going wrong and it hasn't started. Yeah.
And that's part of what could go wrong. Okay, so back to the question before we got distracted by the whiskey and earbuds. What was the question? Something good. Something about what could go wrong mindset for the teacher.
We were talking about growth mindset and how we have to adapt the what could go wrong mentality like through and through.
So then here's my question. Can a teacher go into a classroom with what could go wrong if her leadership does not carry that same belief or understanding in practice? Because if she's going to her kids and saying, let's try this, let's fail this, it's fine, we'll learn from it and grow. But then she scored on something that's not a growth that would go wrong. Then how does that work together? Have you ever seen that work out or not work out?
It doesn't work out. Here's the fine line that I think administrators are having to walk. And there's just no for this, and I know that because I've sat down with enough superintendents to know. I mean, the fear of letting a teacher go rogue, right? And and we call it, I'm saying really, it's the growth mindset, the what could go wrong mindset, letting a teacher try things out and letting it be okay if it fails. The problem with that is not just and that's here in Texas for sure. It's a testing mentality too, right? So we have these tests that are holding these teachers in these school districts accountable in a way that makes them feel like we don't have room to try and fail, because if we try and fail, we are going to lose our rating. We're going to have upset families and community members and parents, and there's always repercussion for that. There's a couple of districts, and I know that Prosper is one of them, and they are doing some really cool things where they're doing some academy. I wish I could remember the name of it. They allow teachers to submit this, hey, what do you want to try? What model thing do you want to do? And it really is like, hey, growth mindset. What do you want to throw our way that's innovative that we can try? So props to that district. And I personally know the guy who's kind of running that program, and he's just awesome and willing to fight for those pieces. And that district is really good at being supportive of their people. But of course, that took someone with a gambling mentality of, you know what, I'm going to try and we'll see what could go wrong, but it's all going right. So I really think that the idea of putting yourself out there in the what could go wrong mentality so that people can see that it's okay, dare to dream, because
I'm frozen, or I'm frozen, or we're all frozen, and no one really knows because I can't see the comments. So let's see. Julie, I don't know what's happening. Everything's broken. I lost Julie. Oh, look. Nita says it's Chelsea ×2 and nothing wrong with that. I saw that comment. So that's exciting. I can't see it. I had to open LinkedIn over here because I can't see it over on my actual restream thing. I don't know if she's going to come back. I lost her. She was saying such wonderful things. Weren't we somewhere in the what could go wrong mindset, right? Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys are here. I don't know where Julie went. And I don't know if I should just call it done. Let's see if she messaged me somewhere else. Hold, please. Where did you go? Go. Oh, she's trying to get back on if anybody's there. This is usually the time where I tell really great jokes. Okay, so I was a preschool teacher. Oh, wait, no, I don't have to tell jokes because look, there she is. Hey, I can't hear you. Nope. I can see you. You look beautiful, but I hear nothing. But look how lovely you are. Here's the thing. You should try and talk, and I'll fill in what you're saying. Oh, I was just thinking how pretty Chelsea is. I was just saying that this was the most fun I've ever had. Is it working? Am I saying the right? Okay. So I feel like maybe we've reached the end of our show. I mean, it is 5:29 and we were going to do 30 minutes and we did it, but we have tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow, here are our goals for tomorrow. Are you ready? Apparently we might need a shot of something. It's fine. Don't tell the children. Okay. We also need Chelsea to learn how to see the comments all in one place. Okay. And we need Julie to have sound. That's important. And That's it. I think those are all of our goals. Shots, comments, and sound. Those are all good goals. What time are we going live tomorrow? Let's say that, and then let's let this die. Wait, say it again. 2:30, 12:30, 12:30. Yes, this is like a game that I can't win. All right, so we're gonna let Julie do the closing statement, and I'm gonna translate by lip reading. Okay, ready, set, go. You're frozen. You're awesome. You're frozen again. This is a terrible game that I can't win because you keep freezing, and that's not fair. I can't lip read at all, much less with you frozen. So I'll just make the closing comments. How about that? Thank you to the people who are supposedly here for coming and hanging out with us on this shenanigan of a situation. We did have some good conversations before it all fell apart. Okay, we're going to try again tomorrow at 12:30. And we're going to talk more about relationships and education and growth mindset and all those types of beautiful things. And I'm going to click the done button now because I think we've had our fun. So